bargain bin. We're out to find the worst film there is. Cheesy, awful, bad, and more. We'll bring you the films that you're looking for. The bargain bin, the bargain bin. Welcome to the bargain bin.
Yo.
Glug, 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 glug,
glug. Oh, God.
Not as good.
Too soon. That's all right. Hi, welcome to Bargain Bin.
Welcome.
Hello.
I'm Mike.
I'm Zoey.
And I'm the other Mike.
Ooh.
I'll say Michael.
Yeah, we'll go with Michael for you this time.
That's
just to
fine.
Clear up any confusion.
Yeah.
Today we are talking about the only thing worse about Mario than people who say Mario. And that is the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yes.
From 1993.
Yeah, I think they did say Mario in it at one point.
One guy did. The
One
reporter
guy.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reporter at the very end.
Mario, 'cause I was
After
like,
the
did I
whole
hear that
movie.
right?
Yeah. After the whole movie called him Mario, he goes Mario.
He says, I, for one, would call them the Super Mario.
To which we, as the audience, go, you just had to, didn't you?
Best Walter Cronkite impression there.
Yeah.
The highlight of his career.
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, so this is one of those movies that's like widely regarded as one of the worst movies of all time. I don't think I agree with that.
I don't think so. It's not as bad as some of the ones we've seen.
Yeah, it's real bad, but it's not like... It's not unwatchable. It's really entertaining still.
Yeah, it kept my attention. That's
and it's dumb as hell.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, it is not to be taken seriously in any way, shape, or form.
And it's got this cast that throws you off in the sense that the main characters are supposed to be brothers. So you've got Bob Hoskins as Mario. Which I think is the one thing from this movie that actually became canon for the games, in that his name is Mario, and Luigi Mario is played by John Leguizamo.
Yes.
Sweet little baby face John Leguizamo.
Yeah, tiny, like, 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Not really, but...
Well, he looks like
he looks
so
Bob
young.
Hoskins' age.
So, let's jump right in.
Yes.
The movie opens with a truly awful animated sequence with some Italian-American dinosaurs.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
The Jurassic mobsters.
Yeah.
Of Brooklyn, yeah.
And I don't know why. I was hoping that like the end would wrap up that way as well.
Nope.
No. I don't know why we got this animated sequence.
Got the animated sequence at the beginning and no other animation throughout.
And the animated sequence kind of looked like one of those like pre-rendered animations that would play on an old console, where everything was like kind of pixelated.
Yeah.
Colors were represented in blocks.
Yeah,
and,
very blocky.
It looked like a Sega Genesis game.
Yeah,
right.
Like one of those openings to a Sega Genesis games that was like, it would flash white and then Batman would be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it opens with that, and it's a kind of narrated at the beginning, explaining that in the Jurassic period, there were dinosaurs, but in an alternate universe, they didn't go extinct, and they continued to live side by side with man, as clearly happened 2,000 years ago with real man.
You mean when
in
Jesus
the real world.
rode the dinosaurs?
Yes, when Jesus rode dinosaurs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, we're creationists.
Yes, this is a super creationist podcast.
Welcome.
And so immediately you can tell, I mean, if you've played the Mario games, just by this opening, you can tell this is not going to follow the games. I mean, it's not going to. It doesn't immediately. Why are we talking about dinosaurs?
Nope.
I want to imagine, because I saw this when I was probably like 10-ish. I didn't remember it all from then, which is good. I was really happy that I didn't remember it, but I was hoping that people who saw this in theaters were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why are we looking at dinosaurs right now?
I think that's what I said to you when I saw a picture of it. I was like, are there dinosaurs in Mario?
No.
I mean, outside of Luigi,
any dinosaurs in Mario.
outside of Yoshi, not really.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it was mind-boggling because my favorite part of the Mario games was always the dinosaur exposition about, you know.
I really get into it for that back plot.
Yeah.
jumping on
dinosaurs.
tiny dinosaur heads to kill them. And
Yeah.
nope, that never happened in the games.
No.
No.
So yes, this is a loose adaptation of the games in pretty much just the
Very
sense
loose.
that they're plumbers
That's
and
about
they're
it.
brothers.
Yep.
Yes.
Kind of. They're kind of brothers.
We don't really
Yeah,
get a
we-
clear explanation.
Well, we get some multiple explanations,
Yeah.
but they're all conflicting.
At one time, Mario was referred to as Luigi's mother.
Yeah.
His mother,
Yeah.
his
Yeah, as if
father,
it
his
wasn't
uncle, his
confusing
everything.
Well, yeah, and he says, "Oh, I raised him," but does that mean that you adopted him, or like your parents died, or
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, and it's kind of dark, but I was thinking that their parents died, and Mario, being the older brother, had to raise
Right.
Luigi as his own.
But then Luigi says, "I don't know who my mom and dad are."
When?
He
When
said
that at
Daisy-
some point.
Yeah,
Oh,
when
yeah.
Daisy
I don't-
was
I don't
like,
doubt
I don't
it, I
know
just
my
missed
parents.
it.
He was like, "Oh, us neither."
She's like, "What do you mean, neither?"
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, "Forget about it.
yeah,
Let's have a spaghetti."
spaghetti.
the third chapter of
Yeah,
this movie.
Chapter
Spaghetti.
3, spaghetti,
Yeah.
which is
The
every
title
chapter.
Yeah.
So I want to literally read, and I apologize. I want to read the description on the back
That's a
of the
good idea.
DVD case right now. Because to really describe the plot of this movie, I don't think I could do it justice. Buckle up and hang on tight. The discovery of a parallel universe launches you into the adventure of a lifetime. Mario and Luigi, two wacky plumbers, undertake a daring quest to save a princess in Dino Hatton.
Oh, they
Oh
never
my-
said that.
It's
and I
never referred to as
really
Dino
wish they
Hatton.
had.
A hidden world where the inhabitants evolved from dinosaurs. Mario, Bob Hoskins, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Luigi, John Leguizamo regarding Henry, face deadly challenges from a diabolical lizard king, Dennis Hopper, Hoosiers, and must battle giant reptilian Goombas, outwit misfit thugs, and undermine a sinister scheme to take over the world. Blast off for non-stop excitement with Super Mario Bros., the live-action thrill ride that
Oh.
dazzled moviegoers everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm gonna say not.
No.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna say that
Not.
didn't happen.
How much money did it lose? $20
It
million.
lost. Yeah, it lost like $25 million on a
Jeez.
tiny budget of $54 million.
Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
That was $54 million not well spent.
No,
No.
but it's one of those things where, like, especially in '93, the popularity of Mario should have skyrocketed them to success.
Yeah.
But word of mouth must have been so palpable that everyone's just like, I'm not watching that piece of shit. Like, that's
No,
not happening.
Yeah. Like, no, that sounds awful.
Like, there's no reason commercially, at least, that this movie should have done badly.
Right, because it's
Outside of
Mario.
it being
Everybody
awful.
loves Mario.
Yeah, well, in '93, everybody loved Mario in a way that we can't even describe today.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, he was at his height then.
Oh yeah, he
That
had
was his
peaked.
peak.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, what, Super Nintendo was...
Yeah.
I don't think N64 was out yet.
No, it was pre N64, but Super Mario was out.
Yeah.
Like the first Mario Kart was probably just out. It was probably peak Mario time.
Yeah.
So Bowser, or King Koopa, which it's interchangeable in the games, is President Koopa in this movie. And he's an army general at first. We see him in like
was
a
he?
tunnel, and he's fully
Oh,
decked out in
yeah,
army
yeah,
garb.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, at the very
Um,
beginning.
That's
So,
right.
what I'm thinking happened, because not to get too far ahead, but Daisy is the main female protagonist in this, which is weird to begin with.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
like, where's Princess Peach? Isn't Daisy that, like, baby?
No, that's you're thinking of Baby Rosalina.
Oh, yeah, like, I don't understand where she
Daisy's
came from.
Daisy's a brunette in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
In
with
the yellow-
yeah,
in the
with
yellow,
crown.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she is Luigi's boo, so they got that right at least. But her dad in this movie was turned into goop. It's fungus, but I mean, he's just this big goopy mess.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we will.
Oh,
but
God.
You're
but he
spoiling.
was turned into that by King Koopa, President
Yes.
Koopa. So
He
I'm
was-
guessing that he was a general at that point.
Yeah.
Wait, but isn't there a Koopa in the regular world too?
I don't
Yeah, there
think
is.
so.
Oh,
I
thought there
no, I
was.
don't think so.
Oh, never mind then.
That's okay. Maybe I don't know.
You know,
It's possible.
we're probably giving this movie too much plot by
Yeah.
saying
Yes.
this. Like, we're
Yeah.
putting more effort than they did into this at
Oh
this
yeah,
point.
for sure. So the movie goes from that really badly animated sequence, which was 20 million years ago, I think it said.
Something like that.
No,
Yeah.
I thought it was like 60
That's
something
what I
million.
thought.
I thought it was
and then I was
65
like,
It might
that
have
doesn't
been.
sound right.
That's
yeah.
possible.
I had like 56.
It was
maybe
like-
I didn't write it down.
65 million years ago in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that shiny rock falling from the sky.
Exactly.
And
So
then-
it goes from that
Yeah.
to 20 years ago in terms of the movie.
Yes.
Not 20 years ago.
20
now,
years,
because-
like, I guess in the 70s,
Yeah.
because that was
Yeah.
1993.
Yes, this would have been 1973, where a woman is dropping off this like space capsule to a church. In the rain, she's wearing like cyberpunk shoulder guards with spikes.
Yeah.
And these nuns bring it in, open it up, and it's got a dinosaur egg
Yeah.
inside.
Yep.
Which one of the nuns goes, "Oh,
Yeah.
like
Cute.
that's an appropriate response
Yeah.
to a giant egg."
Yeah.
Out of which a human baby
Yes.
Yes.
pops out,
Yes.
because that adds up. I don't-
Yeah. It perfectly makes sense.
Why not?
Yeah.
A giant
no, they
human
never-
baby came out of
yeah.
a tiny
Yeah.
egg. Yeah.
And I think the
Well-
only reason that I'm choosing not to question it further is because the movie decided to make all of these like creatures from the game into people.
Humans.
Yep.
Or
Which was-
human-like.
Yeah, they're all humanoid.
Yeah,
except
they're
for
not-
Yoshi, who is just a
For some reason,
raptor
still
from
a
Jurassic
raptor,
Park.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like he's a cross between like Bad Milo and a
Oh,
raptor
yeah.
from Jurassic Park. So we're introduced to the Mario Brothers. Luigi is
Which-
just lounging on the couch.
They have in their decor in their home plungers
Yeah,
on the
they've
wall.
got, like, a gun
That's
rack
their
of
decor.
plungers.
The wall of plunging.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mario is introduced, again, played by Bob Hoskins, may he rest in peace, as a giant asshole.
Yeah. I said, why is Mario so much older than Luigi? I thought Mario was supposed to be a super fit dreamboat.
You thought that?
Because he has
You thought he was,
Princess
like,
Peach.
jacked?
Well, because he, like...
Nah.
No, he's always been a short little munchkin man.
Oh, well, he's going through these, like, dangerous situations in the game. And
So you
he's,
just
like,
assumed he was jacked?
I didn't assume he was jacked. I thought he was probably, like,
Handsome?
agile. Well, I thought he would be handsome because he gets Princess Peach.
I mean, we don't see this movie's version of Peach.
You're right.
It's true.
What was the name of his...
Danielle.
Yeah, Danielle.
Yeah.
We get Danielle.
Why didn't they name her Peach?
I don't know.
Or at least give her a nickname
Or at
of
least
Peach.
he should call her Peach. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Anyway,
oh, you're
I
my
digress.
Peach.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah,
After
any-
all,
any
you're
nod.
my Peach.
Yeah.
Any nod to Peach. But yeah, they make Mario into such a like a grumpy old asshole.
Yeah.
And that's so contradictory to the games where he's like,
He's like,
woohoo,
it's a
like
me.
jumping
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
and he's like super happy all the time.
Yeah.
And he is never happy in this movie.
Not once.
He's just mean and angry and old
No, I think
Italian.
he gets he's like, Luigi, you're my brother. Well, he doesn't say that, but that's
He doesn't
how he
say that.
That's
No.
how he
and
acts.
that's not how he acts.
Nope.
No, he gets
He's
like,
basically like, why are you so lazy, Luigi?
that's at the beginning though.
I fucking hate you, Luigi. I mean, that's not a line in the movie, but it pretty
It
much
could
is.
be. Yeah.
So, simultaneously or directly after, pretty much, we're introduced to these Italian mobsters,
The Scalini brothers.
the Scalini brothers, who really don't play a role in this
Nope.
movie
Just the
outside
beginning.
of, like, sabotaging a mining operation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And being idiot plumbers.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's they're really only at the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's such like a cliche when they're introduced because it's like, hello, we are Italian Americans. We are here to harass you now.
And then they like leer at Daisy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're real creepy with Daisy.
Yeah.
A lot of things are really creepy towards women in this movie.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, super unsettling. And I don't know why they went that route for a Super Mario Brothers
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Like, why is there so much rapey tension in this movie?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
When obviously none of that's, I mean, goes without saying, none of that's in Super Mario Brothers.
Right.
I mean,
It's a
unless
secret
there's
level.
undertones that I just haven't been getting.
No, I don't think they're there.
No, that was a joke.
It's a secret level
I
you have
know.
to find.
Yeah, you go down
Some
that
people-
tunnel.
It's a
Some people probably find Mario very sexy.
it's a dark pipe
Okay.
you find in a corner.
You're back to Mario being sexy now. I think you have a hidden Mario fetish,
fetish.
that
Oh boy.
we'll explore later. So, once we're introduced to that cast of character, we're then brought back to the alternate universe, which is awful.
Yes.
It's absolutely terrible.
As if Brooklyn didn't seem bad enough as it is,
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah,
found a way to
really.
make it look worse.
Especially 93 Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I mean,
seriously.
just they made it into this weird, like, cyberpunk kind of, like, it's extremely Schumacher-esque.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like, it looks like it was ripped out of Batman and Robin. Everything, all the cars are cable cars for some reason.
Yeah.
And they all smash into each other
Yeah.
for some other reason.
It looked like something's taken out of the Twisted Metal games.
Yeah, it looks like a combination of, like, Batman Forever, Twisted Metal, and a horrible amusement park.
And like Judge Dredd.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
The Stallone Judge Dredd, just to be, not the,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Not
It's not going to be Dread.
Recent.
yeah,
Yeah.
not the much better Dredd.
Yeah.
Carl
One of those
Urban.
movies we might do for Bargain Bin, and it's not the one with Carl Urban.
Carl Urban, that was
Carl
his
Urban.
name, yes.
Cal.
Cal.
It's me, Cal Urban. So, we are also
Scarpelli.
introduced
Wait,
to
was it Scarpelli or Scalini?
Scarpelli.
Scarpelli. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Scalini's a real man
Oh.
in real life.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Isn't he a judge or something?
Yeah. I
think
That's
so.
Scalisi.
So many similar Italian sounding names. I can say that I'm one of them.
Yeah.
So, at the same time, because there's a lot of, like, back and forth in this movie, we're introduced to Daisy for the first time, and she's working
She's
a
like an
job.
archaeologist.
She's like an archaeologist. She's working a dig as a college student,
Yeah.
or she's
is she a
working
professor?
with
I
college
don't know.
students.
Well, she's supposed to be 20 years old at this point.
Right,
That's
so
true.
She's
She must
probably
be.
a
Okay.
college
But
student.
she's
And
like
yet, for
in
some reason,
charge of
she's
it,
running
yeah.
it.
She's
She's
running
like,
it,
I'm
yeah.
gonna get on the phone with the
Because
professor.
she's a lizard person, and they secretly
She's
know.
at the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're introduced to them, and all of this becomes this, like, real haphazard plot device nonsense in that, like, somehow the Mario Brothers show up at the same time, and they're like, you need a ride?
Yeah.
And that's how they're united.
Wait. Before they just see that, first off, Luigi is on a payphone.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Oh,
just
yeah.
drops his jaw staring at Daisy.
Well, he's on a payphone calling this number that apparently is just people yelling about needing plumbing jobs.
The plumbing job
No.
hotline.
That's such a thing.
It's like, send every plumber you have!
And he just stares at her creepily.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for like 5 minutes.
Stops what he's doing, hangs up the phone, and lets her use it.
Didn't even
Like,
hang it up.
No,
he gave it
didn't.
to her
He just gave it to her.
while
While
the
it's yelling
receiver
about
was still
plumbing.
Yelling about,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then he goes over to Bob Hoskins and says, ain't she beautiful? In a way that people don't speak to each
No.
other.
Yeah. Hey Mario, I seen this broad at the payphone.
You see her 10
Ain't
feet
she
away?
beautiful?
She's a beaut.
So yeah, they're like united by this need for her to have a ride, and for some reason, because of Luigi's infatuation now, she has to become a love interest.
Of course.
And it's just done so badly.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
It's done in one of those ways that you just go like, really, that's the best you could do?
Yeah, you couldn't
You
figure
just
out
had to
another
make
way.
them, now they're going to dinner, and now they're in love.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
going
they-
for spaghetti.
They did have spaghetti, and
I
spaghetti
have
is the
to
food
say,
of love.
there was not enough Italian food in this movie.
No, just spaghetti.
Just one scene was spaghetti.
Actually, no, two scenes with spaghetti. At the
Yeah.
very end,
Yeah.
Mario was serving
yeah.
spaghetti.
Yeah, you're
again.
right. Yeah.
So, I mean, really, the central theme to this movie is spaghetti.
Yeah, as is the central theme to life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
If Lady and the Tramp taught me anything, spaghetti equals love.
Yeah. It will
the most
get
romantic
you
food.
the girl.
Absolutely.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll talk about the rest.
Okay.
This episode of Bargain Bin is brought to you by Semiculture. Semiculture offers high-quality, limited-run pop culture art prints that won't break the bank. At just $20, both you and your wallet are sure to love these original designs that look great on your wall. Yep, your wall. That's right, I've seen your house, and it needs some art on the walls. Shop Semiculture on Etsy today by just searching Semiculture, That's SEMI, and I hope you know how to spell culture. Or go directly to etsy.com/shop/semiculture to buy your new favorite print today.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Nice.
Just like that.
Wow.
It really wasn't hard.
Nope.
Nope.
What were we talking about?
The movie.
The movie.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know for you, the listener, it was about a 30-second pause. It was about the same for us. We didn't, like, get up and walk around or anything that, the things we should have done. Let's just jump right back in.
Yes.
But during the break, we did briefly bring up, or Michael brought up, looking at the source material, how it got from there to this.
It's a far cry.
So, and I mean, I know that's like now, and from critics then, it was one of the biggest things that was panned about this movie. And I know some of it's got to do with the fact that it's one of those games where, like, there's not that much plot to draw from.
Yeah.
But even the aesthetic, like,
Yeah.
the world of Mario has always
It's
been
not
very, like, cutesy and,
bright
like,
and
it's,
colorful.
yeah, there's, like, clouds everywhere, and the clouds have smiley faces.
Even though they throw, like,
Yeah, I mean, they might be evil deep
things
down.
at you to
Right.
kill you. But
But they're cute.
it's an adorable death.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but even that's something that could have been played upon in this movie. Like,
Right.
oh, look how adorable this is. Oh,
It'll
nope,
kill
it's
you.
trying to kill me.
Yeah.
I guess the only... Was there anything... I mean, like, the Goomba... Or the Koopas were, like, ugly cute.
No, but no, they weren't like pugs or anything.
No,
in
you're
this.
right,
Like,
yeah.
I think the cutest thing was the Babam.
Yeah.
That was about
the
it.
Babam,
But that
And
yeah.
was
only because it was so tiny and it
Yeah.
walked so slow and for so long.
Yeah.
yeah. A wick that was about, half an inch long, if that.
Yeah.
Lasted
Somehow
for about
burned,
3
yeah.
hours.
I think that's the story of Hanukkah.
Yeah.
So getting back into the actual plot, the Italian mobsters, whatever their ska name ends up being, they go and sabotage this dig because they wanted to build there or something.
Yeah, they're trying to build some probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. One of those. I mean, that seems honestly like mobsters trying to build on land is
Is
such
like-
a driving force in so
Yeah.
many '90s movies.
Yeah.
and I don't know why.
I guess, like, as someone who is from somewhere with a lot of mobs, New Jersey, there are a lot of, like, mob-owned land. There is a lot of mob-owned land.
I know, but it seems.
But, like,
I don't know why
never
it's a
seen-
'90s
and
thing.
I don't know why. And I've never seen anyone, like, or I've never heard any mobs, like, threatening people, like,
Hey.
hey, college students, get off this land.
You mean like it probably doesn't happen in broad
No.
daylight like it does in
Well,
all
yeah,
these movies?
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, they go and sabotage this dig site, which happens while Luigi and Daisy are on a date.
Yeah.
Right.
Spaghetti to a nice.
Conveniently, yeah.
They had a full plate of spaghetti, then they went on a jog.
A sprint.
A jog to the
sprint
dig site.
to a
yeah.
dig site that happens to be like full of pipes.
That's actually what they were doing.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
carbo loading so they could go sprinting after. So yeah, like all this water starts bursting out of the pipes, and Daisy says, "Oh, thank God you're here." To which Luigi goes,
Why?
What? What are you talking about?
You're a plumber, idiot.
At which point he remembers he's a plumber,
No, he's
And
reminded
instead-
that he's a plumber.
Right.
he forgot he was a plumber.
but he's apparently not a good enough plumber to handle it, so he runs all the way back
Yeah,
to
that I didn't
Brooklyn,
understand.
gets Mario, and tells him there's a plumbing problem, at which point we see Mario and Luigi plumb together.
Yes.
Plum. Is that the verb?
It's gotta be, right? If they're plumbers, they plumb.
They
It
plum.
is now.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate that this is like the one instance between all forms of media that we actually see them working as plumbers.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
We've just had to buy along until now that they're plumbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've just been told it. Fed like the sheeple we are.
Yeah.
Wake up, sheeple.
That was one thing that I appreciated about the movie, that they really harped on the plumbing.
They're
Yeah.
plumbers
Because
in this movie. There's no debating it. Like, they are plumbers.
Despite the games calling them plumbers too, everybody's favorite plumber, they don't even carry a
No.
wrench or
No.
anything. And this one, they had the
How are you
whole
supposed to know? They had a
satchel
tool
full
belt.
of every,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
imaginable type of wrench. And
If you watched this movie before playing any of the games, you would think that Mario and Luigi beat things to death with a wrench.
yeah,
And that they, like, are just in pipes. And I guess they are kind of in
They
pipes.
spend
in the
some
game,
time in
yeah.
pipes. which is another thing that Michael and I both had a problem with, in that they don't use any sound effects from the games in this movie.
Really a missed opportunity.
Despite the fact that there's multiple times that they're in pipes,
Yep.
there's like boss fights.
Yeah. Like, if you can call them that.
I mean, yeah, there's kickings.
Boss fights.
Yeah.
There's multiple kickings into things.
I mean, I'm fine with them taking liberties on things, but I did like the wrench usage and the use of actual plumbing tools. And I really think that Nintendo could take something away from that and add some different dynamics to the games by, you know, you want to throw hammers at me? Here's a wrench for you.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, too, that Nintendo could take. I would play a Mario game set in this world.
Okay.
Like, okay, they did a bad job replicating the world of Mario. But Mario could do a good job replicating the world of this movie.
Yeah.
True.
I would play a gritty as shit version of Mario.
Yeah.
Where, like,
Okay.
Mario's bashing things with a wrench.
And there's dinosaurs.
Yeah, there's dinosaurs everywhere, but there's also people that should be creatures that you're also beating with a wrench.
Yeah.
Just everybody gets a wrench to
Yeah,
the face.
everybody's getting wrenched or plunged. And you also have to go to work as a plumber.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a Yakuza-style RPG.
Job, yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't touched on the Iggy and Spike yet.
Please do.
Okay, well, so as we see Daisy going to meet the Mario Brothers for the first time, she's being followed by these two creepy, like, alienish guys that are talking about being human, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, they get hot dogs and they're like, they say there's dog in here. And they eat the raw, like, I mean the middle, just the meat of the hot dog.
Yeah, they throw the buns out the
They
window.
throw the buns out the window, and then they find Daisy, and they're like, that must be her. 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, that's her. And they're like, pretty much we find out that these henchmen are abducting women in Brooklyn to try and find a princess.
What was weird to me about that, I mean, obviously the 2 heads, 2 legs thing is supposed to be comedic, but what got to me about that is, like, they're in New York City. Is this the first person they've seen?
Yeah, they've already abducted, like, 6 girls.
Also, they're disguised as humans.
Yeah.
So they clearly know that's just a human thing.
Yeah.
And if they pause that frame while that she's walking the street, you see hundreds of
Yeah.
other women crossing and walking
And
the street
other
that also
people,
have the full number of legs. And
So how did
heads
they
and
find
arms
her? And they were
How did they
right.
know that was supposed to be her?
On, like, their 6th try, they finally found her.
Yeah, that
There's
was,
how many women in Brooklyn?
It's not bad. I mean,
Yeah.
they're touted as idiots throughout this
Yeah.
movie, but
Actual
I mean,
geniuses,
to just
I think,
grab 6 random women in Brooklyn and you happen to get one right,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yes.
last time I grabbed 6 women in Brooklyn, that did not end so well.
Yeah, you didn't get rewarded with intelligence.
Yeah.
I was not rewarded with a hot dog either. Nothing.
No.
I just got nothing out of that.
Just yelled at.
Yeah.
So, so what this the tinkering in or the sabotage that happens from the mobsters leads to the discovery of a portal to the world where King Koopa is.
Yes.
You mean where the rocks start moving and
Right.
they, like, fall into the solid rock?
Yeah, where they basically like Mortal Kombat Annihilation level of CGI their way into this alternate universe.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happens. I mean, they just kind of tumble in through
Yeah.
this rock wall.
Yep.
And
And
fall
it's-
through, like Alice in Wonderland is, like,
Yeah.
falling.
Well, Bob Hoskins does a flip into
Yeah,
it,
yeah, he
which
does.
is super impressive.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Leaning over on his tippy toes to full front flip.
Yeah, I don't know how he did that.
Impressive.
I didn't know that Bob Hoskins was so gifted in the arts of parkour.
Yes.
But I'd watch that movie too.
Yeah,
Yes, I would.
totally.
Bob
Absolutely.
Hoskins does parkour. So immediately, as soon as they get there, they get in like a confrontation, which leads to King Koopa putting out a ransom for them
For plumbers.
for just plumbers.
But, like, okay, you look at them, how do you know that they're plumbers? What if
Yeah,
they're, like,
how are they
electricians?
identifiable?
I think they got identified, though, by their tool belt, because the cop was like, wait a second. I see. He looked at his tools and he goes, wait a minute, you're plumbers. And
well, before that happens, though, they get in a fight, an altercation, I should say.
that's
with,
true.
Didn't we find out her
Big
name was like Big
Bertha.
Bertha?
Yeah, Big Bertha.
who works at the Boom Bar?
The boom
She's the
bar.
bouncer at the boom bar.
Boom Boom Bar.
The bouncer at the Boom Boom Bar. Big Bertha.
Oh, boy.
They really like their alliteration.
Yeah.
Big Bertha Boom Boom Bar bouncer. Oh.
And
But,
she
okay,
is... Hold
she's
on.
the- okay.
She's an extremely large woman. She's probably a good solid 6'5".
Yeah, she's tall. She's a tall.
She's a big lady.
She's large, but she's mostly tall.
Yeah.
And that just
Yeah.
makes her
Oh, yeah.
imposing. I mean, granted, Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo are not the tallest men.
No.
But you put her with like the shoulder pads and the heels and everything,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
she
yeah.
dwarfs every man ever
Yeah.
created.
Yeah.
She looks like a force.
Yes.
She's got like the spiked shoulder pads that we've seen
Spikes
multiple
all over her.
Yeah. She's got like a spike jacket,
Well-
like a Michael Jackson style spike
Yeah.
jacket. Like she looks like she just came out of the Thriller video.
Yeah.
I thought that she was going to be one of the characters from the game because she had the spikes all over her.
And she
I was
might
like,
be.
is
I don't
she-
know
I
Mario
don't think
well
there's a
enough
big
to
Bertha
definitively
in
say.
Mario.
There's a lot of Mario games.
Oh,
But
that's
I
true.
don't remember a Bertha.
There
at all.
probably isn't.
I was thinking of Birdo, but that's like from Super Mario 2, which was all a dream.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately the movie was not all a dream. But, no, I'm kidding. I was trying to think too. What could she be from the games? And I don't think.
I think she's just some lady.
I think they just created her out of necessity
Yeah.
because
Out
plot
of
needed it.
necessity.
Okay, so this is gonna shock everyone, I hope.
Oh, no.
You know the big red fish
What?
in Mario?
Oh
What
my
big
god,
red
the one
Boss
that-
Bass?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is
That's supposed to be
Wait, let me
Big
see what
Bertha.
that looks like. I don't think I've ever seen that.
that jumps out of the water, like
Yeah.
the large one.
Oh.
From Super
That's
Mario
supposed
Brothers
to be
3.
Bertha?
Yeah.
Yep, they turned a giant fish into a large black woman.
Wow.
That was a choice.
And what a choice it was.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
I
No,
don't
I
know.
did not pick up
I mean,
on
she
that.
wasn't all red.
Which
But-
honestly, if
So
you're gonna
were
give her
other
a name,
people.
if you're gonna give her a name as ridiculous as Big Bertha, just call her Boss Bass.
Yeah.
So people have a chance of making the connection.
Yeah.
Because putting her in red and white doesn't make me go, oh,
She's a
She's a
fish.
She's a fish.
Now I get it.
Yeah. This makes sense.
But she has a terrific scene here that, like, as soon as we got here, I knew I was going to have an okay time for the rest, in which she flies.
Oh, she
And
puts
she-
on rocket boots.
She
Yeah.
flies, like, in full M. Bison fashion with her arms folded.
Yeah.
And completely stiff.
And
And,
she
just,
goes, like, 10
lifts off
feet.
the ground. Yeah. Yeah.
She doesn't go very
Well, you
far.
see her flying, and it looks like she's going so far, and then she's 10 feet away from them.
Yeah.
Because they, like, walk over, and she's standing right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, very strange character. I'm
Yeah.
very happy to know that she's supposed to be a fish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That
so funny.
that makes it a lot better to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
to touch on the world that they're in, also, apparently in this parallel world, cars are not the same. The cabs look like regular cabs, just with like pipes and wires on them.
Yeah, they got like
Yep.
PVC
Yeah.
and
Police cars look like flashy, like bumper cars.
they look like 50s cop cars, but
Right.
with like all those wires and cables and everything attached to
Yeah.
them,
It was-
just like
And then there's
Pipe.
like a porn movie theater playing
Yeah.
the movie I Was a Teenage Mammal.
Oh, yeah.
XX.
Like, oh, yeah, XXX. Anyway, just had to
Oh
put that
yeah,
out there.
no, the world is very strange. Honestly, the world that it's set in is more interesting to me than anything that happens in this
Yeah.
movie.
It reminds me of that dinosaur, the Whoopi Goldberg one we watched.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that world. We watched
Yeah,
a
Theodore
movie,
Rex.
Theodore Rex about it's a buddy cop movie. That episode may be released. We don't know.
It won't.
It won't. It was pretty terrible. About Whoopi Goldberg teaming up with a dinosaur
I
to
love
solve
it.
crimes.
Yeah.
It
Buddy
was
cop movie.
Awful.
But not fun.
Anyway, but the world is very similar.
Yeah, because there was like a bar named Bullet Bills, which sounded
Yeah.
cool because those are like the bullets that fly around and try to hit you all the time in the game.
Oh.
And then there's the Womps. There was a place called Womps, which are the giant bricks that
I
like
didn't
try
even
to
see
smash
that.
you. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Oh, so they did put
There's
like, effort
references.
and thought into this world.
Yeah, there's for sure references, but
Yeah.
they don't execute on any
no,
of them.
I'd
Yeah.
like to learn more.
And
yeah.
it was so quick because if you're not looking at the screen when it,
Oh
Right,
yeah, I
you
didn't
wouldn't
even
have
see
seen
that.
it.
yeah,
I was probably taking a note or something when that happened because I
Yeah.
didn't even see that.
yeah, it's like a blink and you miss it moment because I saw it. I was like, oh, Womps, and then oh look, Bullet Bills. What's that? Is that
Yeah.
a bar? Is that a like
Can we
a
go in
shooting
there?
gallery?
Yeah.
Like, are
We're
they
gonna get
go in
nothing
there?
about it.
And you got nothing. You got zero information. They didn't like sneak in there at some point during any of the running and chase sequence. You thought,
yeah.
I just want to touch. I forgot how they got introduced to Big Bertha the fish. They got mugged by an old lady.
Yeah.
yes.
A grandma walked up to them and said, "Oh, you boys shouldn't be out here without weapons." And they're like, "Oh, thanks, lady." She's like, "Do you have weapons?" And they said no, and so she mugs them. And then Big Bertha fucking suplexes her.
Yeah.
Throws her away
But then
into a
she
car.
tries to rob them.
Yeah.
Yeah. She threw the old woman away like trash.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
took what,
Again, it's a very entertaining movie.
my God.
It's so stupid.
honestly, it's not so much a good Super Mario Brothers movie, more that it's a good mobster movie because it's just like double crossing left and right.
It's a good mobster movie.
It's a good mob movie.
Okay.
It's a good mob movie.
I'll
Not a
let
good,
you use those words. That's fine.
I mean, it was a classic. You had the fraudulent activity on a piece of land. You got a hit put out on the plumbers.
That's true.
Oh, a plumber alert, as they
Plumber
said.
alert, yeah. Like
Let's say
I
The
guess.
Godfather,
Yeah.
The Departed, Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah. You know, it's a better mob movie than it is a Super.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Well,
I
it's
agree.
an abysmal Super Mario movie.
Yeah.
Because there's even opportunities, like, well, I mean, I'm gonna gloss over the plot. The plot is for shit in this movie, but they had so many opportunities to do things that would be reminiscent of the games that they just don't do.
Yeah, almost immediately. There's a car chase scene right after they get jacked. They got robbed, I guess, and there's a quick car chase scene, and they end up in They said they're heading to like a desert land, and I thought, oh, cool, they just warped to level 3. Like they're going to the desert land, and it was like, nope, that was
Just
it.
a desert.
Like, great.
Yep.
Yeah, in this parallel universe, the only city that exists is Dino Hatton.
That's what the back of the DVD calls it. It's just Manhattan.
The rest of the world is desert.
Yeah.
Well, I think even more restricted than that, I think it was just Brooklyn.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Which represented on King Koopa's globe is massive.
Yes.
It's like the size of a country.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which if you've been to Brooklyn, you can probably walk it in an hour.
Yeah.
So there's so many things that are just worth talking about and also not.
Let me see.
Like,
Well, let's see. The fungus.
the
We'll talk about
fungus
the
is
oh,
super
wait.
weird
Sorry.
because what?
Before we talk about the fungus, I want to talk about Toad.
Okay.
Oh God.
Well, we have to talk about them getting arrested.
Okay, yeah.
That's
So, Koopa puts out the plumber alert. Plumber. And
For plumbing.
Yeah, and then Big Bertha steals the necklace thing they have, and then they find the plumbers, and then they bring Mario and Luigi to prison, and they say, "What are your names?" And they say, "Mario." "What's your last name?" "Mario." "What's
We get
your
the whole
name?"
Mario,
Yeah,
Mario
Mario,
thing.
Luigi, Mario, and they're taken into prison, and they meet Koopa.
Right.
Toad.
Dun dun dun.
Well, they meet Toad.
Oh, they meet Toad first. Yeah, they meet Toad.
Toad, who is just like a punk guy with.
He
like
looks
a
like the
street
lead singer of
performer.
Offspring or something.
Yeah, he looks like the lead
He has
singer of
this,
a
like,
lot of 90s bands.
Swirled hair that
To
I guess
represent
is-
a mushroom?
Represent a mushroom.
Yeah.
So
Terrible.
shouldn't he have like
Awful.
a bowl cut if he was
That
representing?
would have
a
been
mushroom?
really funny, though.
Would've been better.
Also, if he was tiny.
Yeah, like
If he was a little
tiny guy.
person-
Character. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
like 6 foot.
yeah,
9.
he was huge.
massive.
Yeah.
But if they made him a little person with a bowl cut, like a layered bowl cut,
Yeah.
though, in different colors, in red and white.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Come on. Then it would have been
missed
fine.
opportunity.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
why
why'd
can
they make
call-
him giant?
Well, and why are they calling him Toad, but they named her Big Bertha?
I don't know. But,
Anyway, I
but
digress.
why did Toad become a Goomba?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they could have turned him into a mushroom. They have all this foundation
Yeah,
for
well,
the fungus.
that's what I thought was going to happen.
No, they didn't do it.
Yeah. No, it was
Yeah.
So
derailed.
yeah, but when they meet, they meet King Koopa because he is presented as their lawyer in prison, and he's so fucking aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, he's a germaphobe.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why.
I don't know either.
He's just talking about how disgusting the world is all the time, but also
Yeah.
it's his and he loves it.
Yeah.
And he's so aggressive that he jumps over the table and plunges his thumbs into Luigi's eyes.
Yeah.
In like a Rambo style.
I thought he was
like,
going to, like, poke him out.
I
Yeah.
thought he's about to blind Luigi.
Yeah.
Because he's like going at it, and I'm watching this. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Once Upon a Time in Mexico here.
Like, am I about to see blood?
Yeah.
And, I mean, Luigi just, like, brushes it off, but it was
He
intense.
almost got gouged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. But back to the fungus now. The fungus in this movie has nothing to do with the games.
I was just about to ask, is there any fungus
Outside
aside
of the
from
mushrooms.
in the
Just the mushrooms.
No.
So basically the entire parallel universe is coated with this like fungus.
Yeah.
This like sinewy
But I
tissue
didn't-
fungus crap.
At first I just thought it was just like sheets.
Yeah, it looks like
It
sheets.
just looks like sheets. It doesn't look like fungus.
It's like sheets of Laffy Taffy or
Yeah,
something. Like,
yeah.
It looks
Or
like
like
kind of sticky, but
It
not
looks
sticky.
like
but
what's that stuff that you like spray at people?
silly
Silly
string.
Silly
Yeah.
string, yeah. It looks
Yeah.
like silly string.
But the way that it works in this movie, you would think it's a gameplay mechanic because like they
Right.
bounce on it at times.
Yeah.
It saves them from falling at certain times.
Provides
Yeah.
weapons.
Yeah, and it's just not a thing.
Nope.
It's a human.
Also,
dot,
when
dot,
they
dot.
encounter a mushroom later, they don't eat it and get really big.
No, they,
Or
they
powers or
should
anything.
have.
Why wasn't there a scene where Mario throws a fireball?
Not. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks like if you look at the DVD, the top left picture on the back. I'm assuming you own this movie. If you're listening, I'm assuming you bought this.
Google it.
It's like $3.99 on Amazon. But it kind of looks like he's got fire on his hand.
Oh my God, you're
Like he's in full costume, and it looks like he could be chucking a fireball.
Yep, it does.
Well,
Which doesn't happen.
The fungus in this movie is so prevalent that at the police they have a fungus unit,
Yeah.
and they have to get defungused.
Which they use like 3 different terms for that. They use like
Yeah.
defungalized,
Yeah.
defungused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
those are all orders from King Koopa.
Yes.
Because he's a germaphobe.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, probably.
But I think like on the deeper level, well, I guess I don't know if it's going to get too far ahead in the plot.
Go
It's
for
okay.
it. Just go.
This
for it.
plot is very strange.
You know, he has this machine that de-evolves and like
Yeah.
super evolves creatures, and that's how
Yeah.
he created his Goombas into dumb, mindless servants with tiny heads.
Yeah.
But like, you know,
But they're huge,
He
too.
mentioned
Yeah.
like a little bit prior to that, he mentioned that he had de-evolved the previous king into a pile of fungus,
Yes.
basically. So it's like the fungus is basically the king
king.
still living in the kingdom.
Yeah.
And he's like, every time he's like, he's trying to rid his presence
Right.
by defunganization or whatever the hell it
Yeah.
is.
But yeah, somehow he keeps spreading everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
He's everywhere.
But he's like, I don't know. I'm not going to get into the logistics behind this.
No, there is no
strange
logistics.
Yeah, it's not worth doing.
Because he has the king in a room, like in the
In a
built-
throne
In
room.
a throne room.
Where the throne is still there.
So why is he? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So many holes.
Yeah, there's a lot of holes in this plot.
Yeah. But it's just, you know, they go through the jail. They
Yeah.
get defungused and they meet King Koopa. He's their lawyer, terrible lawyer. Tries to gouge out their eyes. They go through the miraculous escape from jail sequence.
Yeah, yeah, where they
Which-
zip line through
yeah.
the building.
They
zip
become
line.
very agile out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think I wrote that all of a sudden, like Mario. Oh yeah, suddenly they're so agile and athletic and clever.
Yeah.
Like beforehand, Mario was like, "Hey, wait!" Like he's like
Hey, I'm
stumbling.
Italian.
Yeah,
That was his whole
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Before this scene.
Yeah.
yeah.
With that ridiculous accent of like, oh, you're the missing Goyles from Brooklyn.
I'm from New
Goyles.
York.
Yeah.
But before they escaped, we are introduced to the de-evolution machine.
Yeah.
So basically, Koopa has built this machine that will either evolve people or creatures to their next
Level.
form, or
But
it'll
it's wildly
de-evolve.
inconsistent.
Yeah, or it'll
Yeah.
de-evolve them like back to their previous forms and make them like really stupid.
But it conveniently for the plot, for the Goombas, it just kind of makes their heads tiny, but also makes them huge and jacked.
But like dumb.
and dumb.
Yeah.
And reptiles. And for his henchmen, his cousins.
No, he evolved them like
I
more.
know.
Yeah.
But their evolution was just to get
a bigger
smarter.
brain.
They
Yeah.
just used bigger words, but they didn't act any
Yeah.
No.
They
No.
as soon as they got in a car, right after becoming smarter, they drove it off a cliff.
Yeah, I mean, like the second they were done, he just says like one smart word, not even smart word, it's just a different word.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like,
Oh,
my
curious.
not so benevolent dictator.
Yeah.
I hate that I remember that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I'm impressed.
That was a good quote. I was trying to scramble for what they might have said,
Yeah.
and I was like, nope.
Indubitably.
But then as soon as they crashed, they're just like, preposterous.
Oh, and shortly after, so basically, Mario and Luigi escape from prison. There's like a wild goose chase in the car. They drive off the cliff into the desert. Mm-hmm. And then they're like hanging off the car. The fungus is like kind of trapping them like a bungee cord, and they're just like bouncing around. And then they do this handshake that they only do
Glug, 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 glug.
one time.
Yes.
Do they do it once or twice?
Twice. They do it once, and then they do it again at the very end of the movie.
Yeah, they hold hands and they go glug, 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 which I'm guessing is supposed to be like you're plumbing something.
I don't know, like a backed up pipe.
I don't know, yeah. But that's all, they did it
it.
halfway through. That's when they introduced us. And I was like, wait a second, did they do this before?
Nope.
And I forgot?
That's not a thing.
Yeah, anyway.
It's something that they do in the games all the time.
Yeah. Is it really?
No.
I was gonna say,
I've played a lot of
played
two-player.
it before.
There's no
You know the
glugging.
cheat code
I
to
don't
glug?
remember that. So they're in the desert, and we go back to Daisy, who's trapped at the
Yes, she's
building.
been kidnapped
She's
now
been kidnapped.
by the cousins. She's in a dungeon now.
In like
I
a
mean, the dungeon looks like
nightgown.
a futuristic bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Back to the Future 2 with remember
Oh, like Biff's
Biff's
tower.
Biff's like slave women or whatever they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And when he anyway, that's what it reminded me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
It's definitely playing on a lot of other movies.
Yeah.
Honestly, like everything in this movie feels like it's ripped out of something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, it's an amalgamation of 1,000 different movies just thrown together loosely.
We're also introduced to Yoshi here.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yoshi.
Who is a prisoner pet.
Yeah, and Yoshi's
Straight
both. He's like underutilized and overutilized at the same time because they make him into a character that I don't want to see more of.
Yeah.
No.
But we see too much of it.
It's painful to watch. And
Yeah.
like they try
It's
to
like-
make him like his little noises were his
Yeah.
lines of just, little purring because the
Yeah.
screen would say purring for the subtitles.
That's how you knew.
And
Yeah.
raptors don't purr, but
No.
no.
Yeah, they just make him a dinosaur.
A little dinosaur.
Yeah, and not a
Yeah.
green dinosaur.
No.
Because that would be too close to the source material,
Yeah.
apparently.
No saddle.
No. You're not riding this Yoshi.
No.
Because he's also tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like
super
2
tiny.
feet tall.
Yeah, he's just like not even knee height. or
He's kind of
something.
useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a
pointless.
slave, too, for some reason.
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah,
like a-
I didn't understand that because he's just kind of in the cell locked away.
Yeah, he's got a collar on, but it's
Yeah.
like a metal.
Yeah. I don't know.
It didn't look like a
But-
good situation.
Yeah, and then at this point, Koopa, gets really weird and he starts, sexually assaulting Daisy, kind of, or alluding to it.
Yeah.
And that comes out of nowhere because he doesn't do it. He doesn't have any plans to make her his queen
No.
or anything.
Nothing. It just came out
He's
of
just
nowhere.
All he really
creepy.
needs
Yeah.
is her necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he kept saying, "You know what they say about little girls," and we all
Yeah,
looked at
we
each
were
other
like,
like,
"What?"
"What do they say about little
Please
girls?"
finish
This is
that thought.
terrible.
Please tell me.
I mean, at that point, I wrote on my phone "creepy Koopa" because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
exactly what he was.
Yeah.
Something about something about kissing a lizard or something
Yeah.
gross about.
And then he sticks out his tongue and it's like a lizard tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then both of your faces were like.
Well, because he
you had
gets
the same
real
face.
rapey
Yeah, he
in a
gets
way
really
that
gross.
we don't like.
I felt assaulted.
No.
Yeah.
Watching
yeah.
that, I was uncomfortable.
Yeah. My mind was assaulted.
Yeah, it's
was
not a comfortable performance.
No.
I think that's. I mean, I don't know.
Poor guy.
I don't want to speak for Dennis Hopper,
No.
but he probably is not fond of this movie. Looking back,
Probably not.
It's just
Well,
I
wasn't
mean,
he like a.
they really committed to these roles, though. They did not.
oh yeah, I mean you can't say it's lazy on
No.
the actors' parts outside of Daisy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was pretty lazy.
Her line
Lazy
delivery
Daisy.
is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody else gets super into the roles, which I think, and we've talked about it before on the show, I think that's one of the defining
that,
factors
yeah.
between a
An
movie that's
unwatchable.
just so bad that you have to just pain yourself to get through, and something that is still entertaining.
It's
People
when-
cared about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they get
And-
into it, it's fun for the audience.
Yeah. If they're having fun, I'm gonna have fun
Yeah.
with it.
If they're pained, and I flash back to Theodore Rex, which Whoopi was basically forced to do, that was not an enjoyable movie to watch.
No.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, because at the end of the day, you had all these actors who have done great
Yeah.
things. It's like a great cast of great actors just doing a poorly put together movie. Because you even have Fiona Shaw, who is amazing in other things. I mean, especially most recently, Killing Eve. I don't know if you guys have seen Killing Eve. It's amazing.
Yeah.
She's so classic in that. And then you see her in this and you go, oh, thank God she's doing so much better now than she was back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's, like, I mean, I want to say everybody, but most of the main cast, at least, went on to do better things.
Yeah.
So that's good, at least.
Yeah.
This
was no one's swan song.
And it didn't kill anybody's career.
No.
So that's what really matters.
So I want to talk about the Boom Boom Club and the scene with Mario dancing with Big Bertha.
Oof.
Yeah.
So Mario and Luigi get all dressed up. They're working with Spike and Iggy now to find this like meteorite necklace.
Yeah, they become allies in a way
like,
that I did not get.
I was waiting for the double cross at any point in time, and it never happened.
Didn't happen.
Doesn't happen in the games.
So they go to the club because they know that Big Bertha has the necklace, and like, oh yeah, Big Bertha works at the Boom Boom Club. She's the bouncer. First of all, a bouncer's job is to stand by the door and make sure no one, does anything
Not
bad.
just dance.
She just dances the whole time.
Yeah.
And Mario is like, Luigi, let me take care of this. I'm going to come on to Big Bertha and I'm going to get that necklace.
Yeah, he basically implies that he's like a master ladies man.
Yeah, so he's like dancing with Big Bertha, and I wrote blech. Because he's like behind her, like grinding on her, but he's like half a foot shorter than her, and he's trying very not so subtly to get the necklace from her. He puts it in his mouth at one point.
Yeah, he like full on goes in for a motorboat.
He bobbed it like an apple out of her cleavage. It was amazing.
Yeah. And then he takes it from her, and instead of like being subtle and like continuing to dance with her, he just leaves.
Disappears.
But he does vanish.
Yeah, he vanishes.
I mean,
and she's
incredibly.
like, what the hell?
Like,
yeah. And but then after all this happens, and like the cops come in to find him, Big Bertha's helping them, even though he just stole from her.
Yeah, everybody turns onto Mario's side very conveniently.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a good guy now.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
you're a good guy now.
Yep.
Yes. So basically now Big Bertha's on their side, and they're trying to get away from Koopa's henchmen and Goombas, whatever they're called.
Yeah, the Goombas.
Isn't Goomba a slur?
I think
like,
it is
word
for Italian.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that's why I've been very uncomfortable saying it.
I think the creators of Mario just hated Italian people.
Yeah.
I think that's what it boils down to.
Yep. Anyway, and
Like,
also,
haha, you have to be plumbers now.
They're stupid plumbers.
so at one point in the middle of all this chaos, Koopa decides to order a pizza, and
No reason.
for no reason,
Never got delivered.
I think they came to deliver
They
it.
did,
He was like, I'm
yeah.
busy. Like,
Oh,
They said, your pizza's here. And he said, not now.
His pizza order was Dino, Lizard, Hold the Mammal, No Worms, Spicy.
and he added pterodactyl tail.
He
or
added
something.
pterodactyl tail. And I was like, first of all, aren't you a dinosaur?
Yeah, isn't this cannibalism?
And you're eating dinosaurs?
But it's fine, because
Anyway.
it's pizza.
I was waiting to see it. I really wanted him to open a
I
box
know.
and show
They
like
didn't.
That
They
would have been
felt-
such like
yeah.
a Flintstones moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the Flintstones movie just
I
like
love the Flintstones
totally
movie.
embraced all that shit. It was
Yeah.
just like, you saw this in the cartoon, now look, it's here.
Yeah.
Like, this is real.
Now talk about a good movie.
Ooh, I don't know about that. We may be covering it sooner rather than later. But yeah, no, again, it's one of those opportunities that even within the world of the movie itself, they set themselves up for something that would have been like, at least in 1993, a good gag.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it.
I mean, even the Ninja Turtles movies with their pizza ordering, they still showed the craziness of that.
Yeah.
That was another
leaned
movie
into
that
it.
this kind of reminded me of. Was like watching those old
Yes.
Yeah,
TMNT
I mean,
movies.
Yeah.
I don't know how those hold up, but I know at least initially they were better.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. I
Yeah.
think they probably hold up a little better than this.
because they were at least true to the source material.
Yes, I
Where-
think that's the important
Yeah,
part.
this botched that and then continued to be bad in its
Yeah.
own right.
Yeah.
So,
But it took itself seriously
Yeah,
the whole
so
way, and that's
it's-
what saved it.
yeah, well, it's a bad adaptation done badly,
yeah.
but it makes for a lot of fun. So,
Yeah, surprisingly.
yeah. So to kind of wrap up the plot itself, King Koopa, aka Bowser, who he's never referred to as in this movie, which is probably for the best.
Yeah, it's fine.
He gives, like, Daisy's got her own dungeon at this point, and so his Lena was her name.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Lena.
So she comes in and basically is like,
she's the double
I'm gonna
crosser.
do this. Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna do this by myself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck.
She's like, you're
Bowser.
ordering a pizza? I'm gonna do this. Yeah.
So
I'm gonna merge the dimensions.
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
What
Okay,
a great
Yeah.
great.
I mean, what would even happen there?
I don't know.
That's one thing I wish we could have seen what that would have been
Yeah,
like.
I
Like,
thought-
why does he want this?
I thought it
Yeah.
would have merged for a little while. There would have been like some crazy coexistence of dimensions,
Right.
like
Yeah.
dinosaur people running in Manhattan, or
Yeah,
Right.
or like the Dino Hatton building's gonna start like coming out of the ground like they're
Right.
from hell. That would have been
Something.
cool.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, I need a little bit of time in
I
that
need
world,
a little
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
but nope.
I mean, show me what they're fighting for at least,
Right.
right? Like, show me why he wants this, because
Yeah,
it
he never
seems
explains why he wants it.
seems like he could have just gone to the real world.
Yeah,
Through
it's
the
pretty
portal.
easy.
Yeah, like
Because it seems like
Pretty
that's
easy.
really what he wanted, is to have more.
yeah.
Because at one point I remember he's like looking at the globe and he's like, the rest is desert. Like, he's pining for more of a world, but he could just go there.
Yeah.
Through
yeah.
the portal,
And then he
the,
doesn't.
the sand wall.
I don't know.
like-
It's yeah.
That
So
gooey rock wall.
yeah. So we have Luigi. So Luigi and Mario are in an elevator, the longest elevator ride ever, with all the Goombas, and Luigi, to get them out of there, starts like dancing with the Goombas.
yeah, like grabbing them from
And
the
I was
hip
like, what
and
is
swaying
happening?
them
Yeah, and then they're all dancing together and they escape through the ceiling. And what does he say about like dancing lizards and
oh, God.
Dancing lizards are just like dancing crocodiles.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, so there's dancing in this.
Like,
We
what does
find-
that mean?
Yeah, the Goombas like dancing. I wrote, how long is this elevator ride?
Yep.
It's so long.
It's
that
like
scene
2 minutes.
That scene felt like an
Was too
eternity.
much. That was an unnecessary scene.
Yeah.
Daisy's introduced to her fungus father.
Yeah, the giant.
And I'm like, why would you show her that? That's really upsetting.
really gross.
Like, here's your dad. He's a blob.
Look at your dad, and then a little piece of like gooey fungus
Oh, yeah.
falls, and he's like, "Excuse my looks. I'm so sorry. I'm a blob of garbage."
The blob who should have had the voice of Lance Henriksen.
Oh, they
Because
should have
that's
made
who
him
ends up
speak.
playing.
I was hoping that he was gonna speak.
Oh yeah, he should have like had one of those like omnipresent voices
Yeah.
that just fills the
Hello,
room. It's like,
Daisy.
daughter.
I am the fungus. Nope. And like she meets her father, it's like not even one bit traumatizing. She's like,
No.
"Oh,
She's
okay."
like,
Well, she
"Hey,
never
I want
met
you
him
to meet my
before.
dad." Yeah.
But I mean,
She never knew him.
No.
But I'd still be kind of shocked to be like, wait a second.
Yeah.
So there's this whole dinosaur world. My dad's a fungus.
Yeah.
What the hell's going
What's
on here? This is
happening?
I don't know
bullshit.
if I'd be shocked or if I'd just be like, bullshit.
Right. I don't.
What
think
reason do I have to
that
believe you on
easily.
this? Like,
bullshit.
Yeah.
this is my dad. Okay, he looks like a booger.
I don't know.
I-
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
no, I agree.
Booger dad.
Booger dad.
And
So
then like a few minutes later, I don't know if I'm getting ahead of the game.
no,
but
just
then
go for it.
Luigi gets introduced to,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like
she's like,
That
Luigi,
scene is
this is my
amazing.
father.
she's like, yeah, Luigi, I'd
I
like
had
you to meet
sir.
my father, and she missed the opportunity to say he's a really fun guy.
Yeah.
She missed that entirely. I mean, as bad as this was, they could have
Seriously.
thrown that in there.
Yeah. But instead he just goes, I honored to meet you, sir.
I'm really happy I had spaghetti
Yeah,
with your daughter.
I'm a little upset about the lack of fungus puns.
I swear.
Fungus Among Us.
Yeah.
Like nothing. Anyway, so then after they're introduced, Mario goes and rescues, or attempts to rescue, the abducted women. He does rescue them. But he's like crawling through the vents and he sees his girlfriend Daniela down there and he's like, hey, Daniela, he's like motioning to her. And she goes and she whispers to one of the other girls, like, that's my boyfriend Mario up there, don't say anything. And the girl goes, hi, Mario! Like so loudly.
Yeah, she screams, hi, Mario.
Yeah.
So then the Goombas come after them, and the best scene of the whole movie is Mario and the 5 or 6 women on a mattress sliding down a tube.
Yep.
While pop music plays in the background.
Yep.
Which, oh no, it's not even pop music.
It's
It's
like-
like speed metal.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's just a long guitar solo going
Yeah,
the
yeah,
entire
you're
time.
right. And then he says something about trust the fungus.
Yeah, well, I want to say this about the Goombas. It's a really good thing we had the subtitles on, because they had lines.
Yeah, they did.
Even though all their words just sounded like, vegetable. Like, and the subtitle says, vegetables.
Yeah.
Like, had we not had subtitles on, I would have missed that very important context, too.
Like when the elevator of the dancing Goombas open and there's like the
Yeah.
head Goomba and
then
he says 10
hut.
hut.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like, and you're like, oh, he said 10 hut. And then he said like move out or something or
Yeah.
fall in line. And you're like, wait a second. They had actual lines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people who saw this in theaters probably had no idea they were saying anything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're grunting at each other.
But then Lena, like, successfully merges the two worlds for, like, a second.
Well, hold on. You're going way to the
I'm
end.
sorry.
We're
Well,
forgetting
we're,
about...
like, at the end.
Well, hold on. Toad gains some form of sentience back because he helps Daisy. Well, first he brings her vegetables. Super sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sweet.
And because he brings her vegetables, she realizes that he's all right. So when he gets set on fire...
Yeah, she stops.
And it's hilarious when he gets set on fire because all of him gets set on fire. And so she grabs a fire extinguisher, which they have regular fire extinguishers, not only in this other universe, but in this like evil tower.
Yeah.
Dino Hatton is up to code, okay?
Yeah.
They have fire
It's like,
They
listen,
still have laws there.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not going to put brakes on our cars, but...
But, you know, fires are no joke.
We're not savages, okay? So, yeah, she, like, puts him out, and then he helps them again by using the harmonica that he had as a man.
As a musician.
Yeah. To get all of the other Goombas to dance instead of attacking them.
Yes.
So,
Sorry,
I wanted to touch on the fate of Toad.
That. Honestly, I forgot about that.
He was playing the elevator music on his harmonica,
Yeah.
which then got all of the henchmen dancing instead of trying to kill
them. Yeah. So then,
and they were going to kill Mario.
Yeah.
Which is another important distinction from the games, in that they're out for blood.
Yeah.
but so isn't this when she merges the worlds?
Yeah,
and
basically.
You see this
We can go
horrifying, like, the twin towers start to disappear, which does not age well.
Well, not
I
only
feel
do
like
they
they
disappear,
should have cut that out.
they look like they've been bombed.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
it's like
One of them
ashes.
has a hole in it,
Yeah.
and you can see like the scaffolding.
Yeah.
It was like-
so that,
it was
that
a
was
little
not a
eerie.
comfy
Yeah.
thing to see. But then Mario and Koopa start getting Thanos, and they start like
They
drifting
start
away,
disintegrating. And,
Yeah.
it looks straight up like the snap.
Oh
It
wait,
did.
didn't we see the merging with the monkey? Or no, that was the
That was
evolution.
that was
That's the
when
next-
they pop over to
Oh, right.
the
That's
the
other.
next scene.
Yeah.
They go back to the real world. Koopa goes there with a couple of Goombas.
To Brooklyn.
Yeah, to present day Brooklyn.
We're like not even saying words. Koopa and the Goombas.
Yeah. If you haven't seen this, you're gonna be
You're
real
very
confused.
lost.
And yeah, he's got his de-evolution gun now, which is no longer just a sit-down machine. He's got it in portable form, which is the next step. And he fires it at one of the mobsters and turns him into a monkey in a suit, which is great.
Instead of everyone like panicking, they're all like, "Oh!"
Yeah. All the onlookers are just smiling and just, this is the cutest thing we've seen today.
Listen, if it was like one of your loved ones,
Yeah.
you'd probably be shocked and horrified.
Yeah.
But it's like a mob boss who nobody liked anyway.
That's true.
So
That's true.
now it's just funny.
Yeah.
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 Um,
Pretty bad.
and so she doesn't successfully merge the two worlds because she
No.
needed both crystals to do that. What
Right.
does happen is Lena shoves one of them into the rock, at which point she gets electrocuted and her flesh blown
It's
off.
just gone.
Yep.
Yep.
She
It's
gets plastered as
gone.
a skeleton against the wall.
Yep.
And that was
And she's
it.
stuck in there forever.
It was-
And that's after, by the way, she got electrocuted on just
Oh,
like
yeah.
this
Yeah.
rack of wires.
Yeah.
What the hell? It's hard to just make any sense of following the plot dynamics
Yeah, no,
of
it's a
this. It
mess.
is nuts.
And we're trying. We just watched this.
Yeah.
So then we're finally at the very end. Koopa is turned into they de-evolutionize him. He's turned into slime basically, And then Luigi has these, like, flying boots that he straps on. What's her face? Daisy decides to stay down there to get to know her dad, who has come back at the end magically.
It's not to get to know her dad; it's to straighten things out there because she's a princess.
She's in charge. But anyway, so Luigi puts these flying boots on, and then Mario stands on his toes
and
hugs him, and they fly off
like daddy-daughter dance.
Yes!
You know, like,
that's what I thought of too.
Step on my toes, honey. Now we're gonna. And he just flies through the air,
and then he, like,
stiff as a
waves to
board,
everyone.
holding a peace sign.
It reminded me of the scene in Jingle All the Way where Arnold Schwarzenegger is carrying Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
And they're just Turbo Man flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie. So
and that's the movie.
Yeah, that's it.
No,
the very end is
right.
Mario and Luigi are back in Brooklyn. They're in the same apartment. And Mario's making spaghetti. And the central theme is it all comes full circle. And Luigi's watching the same, like, Mysteries of the Universe show that he was watching in the beginning, and now they're on it.
Oh, right.
Yes, the Mario Brothers are on it as a feature for having saved the world and rescued the girls.
At which point the reporter refers to them as the Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers.
Mario. And then Daisy busts in full Terminator gear.
Yeah, she's got, like, grenades attached to her. She's got, like, a bandolier. Is that what they're called?
I think so, with all the bullets.
Yeah.
She's got the super scope from the SNES wrapped on her. She's ready to light beam the shit out of some ducks or something.
And she needs their help. So, obviously, this film was meant to be a franchise starter.
And it sure
is
not.
That did not happen.
Nope.
No.
I mean, luckily.
Yeah.
Luckily for all of us, that did not happen.
A part of me actually, I feel like there was only one way to go from here, and that was up. So they could have probably righted it.
I say luckily, I would definitely watch another one of these.
Yeah, it was fun.
Exactly. I
mean, so dumb. But,
it's hard to get worse from a already low point.
But I love that even when they're setting up the sequel, they're like, fuck it, grittier.
Yeah.
She's in a post-apocalyptic world. Yeah. Clearly, she's coming. She looks like she just got out of Mad Max.
Yeah. She does not look like a princess.
Yeah, no, they fully embraced the direction they chose for this movie, and I respect them for it.
It would have been amazing had she had a giant yellow dress on and also loaded with the
that would have been
with
great.
All the bullets and
the mix of princess apocalyptic.
That would happen now in like a YouTube short. I could see that happening now.
Yeah.
So we're going to take one more break before we wrap the show up, and we'll be right back.
Nice.
BRB.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Welcome to an ad. An ad for an ad. That's right. I want you to advertise here. And until you do, you're going to hear this ad. And this ad sucks. So put your ad here. Message me on Instagram at Bargain Bin Podcast for more details. In fact, while you're here, I'm going to give you one for free. That's right. You can advertise here for free. For now, not for always. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
And if you heard that bag crinkling in the background, or as I'm going to do it some more now for ASMR purposes, someone's getting off to this right now. Yeah. That's what ASMR is for, right?
Pretty much.
Just for J and O. It's time for Concession Stand.
Yay.
Woo.
So
I wish we had like a theme song for that.
You can make one.
I'll just
Concession Stand.
Yeah.
There it is. I'll just play that every time.
That's the jingle. We're going to try a weird snack every week.
That's how it works. We did, if you're listening and you've been listening and you're like, oh, why didn't they do it that one episode? We skipped it for Godzilla because I wasn't eating anything
because he was
that
on
had
keto.
Carbs, and so it wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
But we're back. We're doing it.
Yay!
So today we are trying Trolley Sour Bright Crawlers, but fruit and fire.
Oh,
so
boy.
They're going to be half sweet and half spicy.
Great.
Something that candy should never be described as.
I agree.
Tell us what flavors are in this.
Okay, so we've got 2 different flavors for each worm, and there's only 2 varieties.
Okay.
So the first one is cherry / mango habanero.
Oh my god, that's so aggressive.
And the other one is cherry / watermelon jalapeno.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
I'm interested in both.
Yes, I'm interested.
So I'm going to give I'm gonna pass the bag around. Everyone try and grab one of each.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, they smell spicy.
Oh no.
They smell terrible, actually. I want to just...
Oh god.
Ugh. They actually kind of smell...
You're really selling this.
They smell like a pepper, which is not something I want candy to smell like.
Oh yeah. Ugh. They smell like a spice.
Oh god. Here it comes.
Take a
Let's
whiff.
see.
Yeah, they're very.
Oh. It smells like fruity fajitas or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, it does smell like fajitas.
Oh, I can't stop smelling.
Now,
it.
the coloring is super weird on these, too, because,
Yeah, they're, like,
well, the mango
pale.
one especially is, like, almost brown.
Yeah.
Which is exactly the color candy shade. It's almost brown.
Okay, so I'm going to try mango first.
Yeah. Go
If
for it.
everyone wants to join in that.
Yeah, we'll all do mango together.
Oh, no.
It's like
like-
bordering cough medicine-ish.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh.
the taste is not awful.
It's Robitussin-y.
It's
Yeah.
not like strong enough fruity.
It's
The
not strong in
cherry,
either one.
yeah, the cherry is straight up cough medicine.
Yeah.
It's straight up Robitussin.
Yeah.
And then the other part is spicy, which it's not like it's hot.
No.
No.
It's like very muted.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's just like, here's a feeling that you don't want
Yeah.
associated with it.
Almost had a little bit of Fireball
Yeah.
mixed
Yeah.
in there.
Like, these were soaked in Fireball for like 30
I'm
seconds.
gonna try the watermelon.
Yep. And
Oh,
Well-
that is very strange.
the watermelon kicks a little bit more here, but
But the taste of the cherry still overpowers everything. Mm-hmm. And
the
it's bad.
jalapeno is not a good mix.
No, watermelon jalapenos. But it does taste like jalapeno.
It does.
Yeah.
The jalapeno, like, essence is actually there.
Yeah.
As opposed to the habanero, which was just like, it's a little spicy.
It tastes like when I get my Mexican food and I ask for no jalapenos. You got to pick it off, but like the essence
But
is
it's
still
still
on your
there,
food. And
yeah.
you're like, son of a bitch, I know you're there.
Well,
Interesting.
not my
Not
favorite
good.
thing I've ever put in my mouth.
I wouldn't sit there and eat that bag.
No.
No
I'm
risk
good.
of that.
Nope.
If you
But
have
I
any,
did grab a third one because it was attached to
I
it, so
was
I'm going
gonna
to eat
say, okay.
It's a glutton
All right.
for punishment.
If you guys have any suggestions on strange foods you'd like us to try,
it. Yeah, hit us up on
hit us up
Instagram.
on, slide into our DMs.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Yeah.
sexually.
Yes, please.
We're at Bargain
Send
Bin
us some dick
Podcast.
pics.
Don't send dick pics.
No, please don't.
I
Okay.
manage that account. Please don't
Slide
send
in.
dick pics.
Slide into DMs on a Goomba mattress with 6 women that
Down
you
a pipe.
saved from a pipe.
Which is called
Yeah.
a Goomba mattress.
Yes, that's
yeah,
what they
for
called
some
it,
reason. So should we do our alternative views? Or are we rating it first?
Let's rate it first.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, now I just want to say out of Goomba mattresses, but so I will. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 10 Goomba mattresses because it's an awful adaptation, and it's a bad movie, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't groan once during this, which was nice. There wasn't a single time in this movie that I was like, "Oh, how much is left?" Because I hope not much,
Yeah.
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 which does happen. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know, it's I recommend watching it if you've got a little bit of time to kill and you're just looking for a laugh.
Yeah.
Who
My
wants to
turn?
go next?
I will. So I'm gonna give it 3.5 out of 10 Glugluglugs.
Oh.
So 3.5 glugs. That's
Yeah,
10.
glug. That's yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, definitely not the worst movie I've ever seen. It was
No.
not painful to watch. It was fun. It was silly. It was just like a mindless afternoon romp, I would say.
Oh, romp.
Yeah. That's what I think of when I think of Super Mario Bros.
It-
Well, you
and
know,
it-
that Mario.
It was fun and silly. It was just fun and silly in all the ways that the games are not.
Yeah, exactly. It does not match the game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Michael?
I'm going to give it 4 out of 10 mushrooms, which is probably how many you should eat before you watch this movie. Because it might...
It might help.
It might help. It might also make it the greatest horror movie you've ever
Yeah,
seen.
I mean, it's super weird already, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so this can only...
Oh, you might die.
Yeah. Like you guys, it's a fun movie. Like, it's not the greatest thing. It's nothing. It's just so silly.
Yeah.
And it should be played on, FX or something more
Yeah.
often. Just like,
I agree.
it's time for a shitty 90s movie Sunday on FX. And we're
Yeah.
going to start with Super Mario Brothers. And then
That
we're
sounds
going
like a
to...
great
jump
for them to do.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it would be a really good movie to like have people over, have some drinks, put it on. But put it on after you've had some drinks.
yes.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of fun. Like, it's so bizarre. It's so goddamn weird.
Yeah.
That I think it can only be boosted by that.
And then don't pay attention to it and just glance over every few minutes and just try to figure out where
pay
you are.
full attention and try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So now it is time for a little segment on this show that we like to call Alternative Views. I've done it every episode. I said I was going to.
I was not ready for that.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Welcome. That lets me know you haven't listened to the show.
Here's the thing. I just didn't get to the part of the alternative views.
Yes.
There you go.
I did prepare. I did do some prep work, but
All right, this is, if you are listening for the first time, this is a part of the show where we find people on the internet who just disagree with us. And, sometimes that works out in the opposite respect. Sometimes we're going to really love a movie. It hasn't happened often, but I remain vigilant that it's going to happen. Anyway. So, I'll go ahead and lead us off. If my phone will stop trying to get me to buy iCloud space.
Yeah, same.
Ugh.
We should probably figure that out later.
Yeah. There's no figuring it out. It will pester you until you give them money.
Yeah.
Thank you, Apple. You don't sponsor our show. What if they did, though? Oh, man. If Apple would give us money, so cool.
dollar signs.
Okay, so my review is from David B. on Amazon from February 15th, 2019. Just a few months ago.
Okay.
Also bought the DVD like I did. Made that mistake. No, I'm happy to have it in my collection now. The title is It's an Important Movie of the 90s Worth Seeing. 5 out of 5 stars. The review reads, Is the best movie of 1993. I'd also say it's the best movie of the 90s, perhaps ever.
Whoa.
But I might be missing a viewing of some recent importance. Maybe. After watching this, somehow my plumbing improved at my house, and working women around me had more cleavage just by watching this movie.
Wow. ...
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, go ahead.
Oh, you want? All right. So mine comes from IMDb from a user called Shinobi Rekka.
Oh, boy.
And this person is very adamant. 10 out of 10 stars. Tagline, one of my favorite movies of all time. And this is a passionate one.
I'm ready.
I'm excited.
All right, I'm going to try to get through it. Let me start off by saying that this is a great movie. Many people were expecting this movie to be a piece for piece off of the video game, which is pretty stupid considering that the Mario Brothers games don't really have too much of a storyline besides just saving the princess from Koopa. Wow, run-on sentence. The fact that they kept the basic ideas of the Mario games and added their own take of it was great in my opinion. The actors were good and were perfect for their parts, parentheses, especially Bob Hoskins.
I mean, kind of true.
Yeah,
He was good.
He looks the part at least.
I agree. If people want to see a quote-unquote perfect Mario Brothers movie where all there is to watch is a person jumping on monsters and going down pipes just because it's true to the video game, then please, by all means, go and make one and see how many people don't fall asleep while watching it. I think you mean see how many people do fall asleep while watching it, but that's fine. I believe people should see it with an open mind instead of watching it hoping to see an exact replication of the game. And 141 people found this review helpful.
I always love that in those, because there's always like some of those reviews that get really adamant and really aggressive, and they always end up saying the same thing. Well, if you want that, then go make it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't make movies, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm allowed to criticize people who do this professionally.
So my review is from Amazon. It's from Richard Varnes Jr. It's a verified purchase from 2010 it's 5 out of 5 stars, called Mario Bros. In all caps.
Well,
This whole review is written in all caps. If you love the game...
you have to yell.
Okay. If you love the game, this movie follows it to the dot. It has some crazy graphics which match the game's characters very good.
Crazy graphics.
I recommend getting this movie. The end.
Did he think this movie was CGI? At which point I'd agree with him. Those would be crazy graphics.
Mario game he's been playing.
Yeah, really.
I want to play that game.
It's
man.
to the T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played the adults only version of
Yeah.
Mario.
As like the game, the movie in which not one mushroom was consumed,
Yeah.
not one turtle shell was kicked,
Yeah,
not
there
one
were no turtle
fireball
shells
was
in this
thrown,
movie.
Nope.
not a question mark super box,
No
nothing.
star.
He never wore a
Yeah.
raccoon suit.
To the T, though.
Didn't happen.
To the T.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'd recommend watching
Yeah,
this if
it was fun.
if you've got some friends over, if you've
You
got some time to kill. Watching it alone, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
No,
Maybe
that's
it
a
was
sad-
like on.
That's a sad afternoon.
Yeah.
You're having a bad day then, because then you have to go to work the next day and be like,
Hey, hey, Bob,
I
what'd you do
watched
this weekend?
Super Mario Brothers this weekend.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Anything you guys want to promote? Plug?
Promote. Do I want to promote anything? You go first. I don't know. I don't.
That
have
was
anything.
good though. Michael, you're the guest
ahead.
of honor.
I don't have any promotions.
All right,
man.
cool.
I'm just happy to be here. I thank you guys for
Yeah,
letting me,
thank you for
thank
joining
you.
us.
letting me join in.
Oh, I have a promotion
Hopefully
actually.
for more.
I would like to promote Bath and Body Works 75% off semi-annual sale.
I don't
that
know if
will
that'll
be
still be
over
going
by
on.
now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we got a lot of good candles.
So it'll be happening again in December.
Yes.
So
you
go
guys better
then.
be ready.
I'd like to actually promote something that's mine for once and
Yeah.
promote semi-culture. I make pop culture art prints that are available on Etsy now. Etsy.com/shop/semiculture. Everything's $20. Always has been, always will be. Everything's limited run. Everything is limited to 50. So if you get one, you know that you're actually one of a very limited group that has it. But we do that without charging the crazy prices that something like Mondo would. We'll also be out at the Fort Lauderdale Small Press Fair this year, November 9th, at the projects at Fat Village. So come hang out.
See you there.
And besides that, just promoting the show. As usual, keep listening. Only through your listenership do we know that anybody gives a shit. Mm-hmm. So
It makes us happy.
yeah, it gives us funny feelings in our tummies.
Oh no, that's the gummy worms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the habanero.
I'll have some of that fruit
The
and
fruit
fire
fire.
coming out later.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening,
Thank
and
you.
we appreciate your support.
Goodbye.
See you guys.
Bye bye.
Welcome to the bargain bin.